Yep, Harlanger here again, and we're talking about self-improvement. Our tip number 31, we're going to talk about the SMART goal process. And why does it work? Okay, first of all, SMART, S-M-A-R-T, SMART goals. S, be very specific. Someday is not on the calendar. What's the day, the date, the amount, whatnot. Numbers, dates, time. That's specific. M is for measurable. No measure, no get it done. Simple as that. How can I measure this? Again, we'll take a simple thing like weight. If my objective is to be 160 by July 4th, then I can measure that somehow. I can see where I'm at, and I can measure, okay, I've lost 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it is. I've got a measurability there. I've got certain activities I can measure. Did I do it or didn't I do it? Right? Those are measurable. And measurable by not just you, but somebody else as well. Now, attainable. Is this a goal that's in your control? Many times I find that people will set goals that aren't really in their control. And one of these examples I use is, I got a son. I want him to go to Harvard. Well, what if he doesn't want to go to Harvard? What if he could care less about school? What if he could care less about education? What if he gets all D's in school? He's not going to get into Harvard. Do I really have that into my control? But if I rephrase it and say, I want to be in a financial position and have the funds available to send my son to Harvard should he choose to or qualify to. Now, is that something that's more in my control? See, I'm controlling the funding or the capability of doing that should the need arise. Now, it's still up to my son to do what he wants to do, but at least I'll have the financial means if he so chooses. So I'm in control of that. This other part, that's his problem. But my goal I can achieve despite what he does. Okay? Make sense to you? So is it attainable? Is the goal in your control? If not, rethink it. Now, realistic. Do you have or can you acquire the assets and skills to accomplish this? Now, if I say, you know what? I want to earn $500,000 a day in interest. Well, I may or may not have it. If I'm Bill Gates, maybe I can. But if I'm working for 10 bucks an hour, probably not. It's not realistic for me at this time. So taking my realistic, yes, we want to push our goals. We want our goals to be high enough so that we break out in a cold sweat once in a while. Thinking about it, that's fine. But let's make sure that they're within reach of what we can do. And because if they're way too far out, we'll just quit before we ever start. But yet if they're not enough, it's not going to motivate us or pull us to do those things that we need to do. So they need to be realistic from that standpoint. And next, they always need a timetable. If I'm going to get to 160 pounds by July 4th, I've got a timetable now that I can go by. So I know I have a deadline and I know a start and stop date. Okay? SMART goals. Use them. They work.